National Electrical Code Section 230.2 from the 2023 edition addresses the allowance for unfused service entrance conductors. This specific section provides an exception to the general rule that service conductors should have overcurrent protection at their point of entrance into a building. This exception applies when the conductors meet specific conditions, notably a limited distance inside the building. The primary reason for allowing unfused conductors for a short distance is to accommodate practical installation needs while maintaining a reasonable level of safety. Overcurrent protection devices, such as fuses or circuit breakers, are designed to protect conductors from overheating and potential fire hazards caused by excessive current flow. However, immediately placing these devices at the point of entry may not always be feasible due to equipment limitations or building design. The 15-foot limitation is critical. The code specifies that the unfused service conductors can extend no more than 15 feet inside the building. This distance is considered a reasonable allowance to reach a suitable location for the service disconnecting means and overcurrent protection devices. The measurement of this 15-foot length starts from the point where the conductors enter the building and extends to the location of the service disconnecting means. The service disconnecting means must be readily accessible. The service disconnecting means, typically a main circuit breaker or fuse disconnect switch, is required to be readily accessible to the building occupants or emergency personnel. This accessibility ensures that the power supply can be quickly shut off in case of an emergency, such as a fire or electrical fault. The disconnecting means must be located at a convenient and safe location within the building. The conductors must be installed in a raceway. To provide physical protection and minimize the risk of damage, the unfused service conductors must be installed within a raceway. A raceway is an enclosed channel designed to hold and protect electrical wires and cables. Common types of raceways include rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, and rigid non-metallic conduit. The choice of raceway depends on the specific application and environmental conditions. The raceway must provide adequate mechanical protection against physical damage, such as impacts or abrasion. It must also be suitable for the environment, such as wet or corrosive locations. The grounding requirements must be met. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. The grounding system provides a lower impedance path for fault current to return to the source, allowing the overcurrent protection devices to quickly trip and to energize the circuit. The grounding electrode system must be properly installed and connected to the service equipment. The grounding electrode system typically consists of a ground rod, ground plate, or connection to a metal water pipe. The size of the grounding conductor must be adequate to handle the available fault current. The service disconnecting means must be rated appropriately. The service disconnecting means must have a sufficient ampacity rating to handle the maximum load served by the service. The ampacity rating is the maximum amount of current that the device can safely carry continuously. The disconnecting means must be capable of interrupting the available fault current at the service location. The available fault current is the maximum amount of current that could flow during a short circuit condition. The disconnecting means must be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. The working space requirements must be adhered to. Sufficient working space must be provided around the service equipment to allow for safe operation and maintenance. The working space must be clear of obstructions and provide adequate headroom. The dimensions of the working space are specified in the National Electrical Code and depend on the voltage and configuration of the equipment. Proper illumination must be provided in the working space. The installation must comply with all other applicable code requirements. The installation of unfused service conductors must comply with all other applicable requirements of the National Electrical Code, as well as any local amendments or regulations. This includes requirements for conductor sizing, overcurrent protection, grounding, bonding, and wiring methods. It is essential to consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and any local amendments to ensure compliance with all applicable requirements. The consequences of non-compliance can be severe, including fines, legal penalties, and increased risk of electrical hazards. Here are some additional considerations for unfused service entrance conductors. Firstly, conductor sizing. The service entrance conductors must be sized according to the calculated load served by the service. The National Electrical Code provides detailed tables and guidelines for determining the appropriate conductor size based on the ampacity requirements. The conductor ampacity must be sufficient to carry the non-continuous load plus 125% of the continuous load. Secondly, overcurrent protection. While the service entrance conductors are unfused for a limited distance, they must be protected by overcurrent devices at the service disconnecting means. The overcurrent devices must be sized to protect the conductors from overcurrent conditions such as short circuits or overloads. The overcurrent devices must have an interrupting rating sufficient to handle the available fault current at the service location. Thirdly, bonding. Bonding is the process of connecting metallic parts of the electrical system together to create a low impedance path for fault current. Proper bonding is essential for electrical safety. The service equipment must be bonded to the grounding electrode system. The metal raceways containing the service entrance conductors must be bonded to the service equipment. Fourthly, labeling. The service equipment and disconnecting means must be clearly labeled to indicate their purpose and function. The labeling must be durable and readily visible. The labeling must comply with the requirements of the National Electrical Code. Fifthly, inspection. The electrical installation must be inspected by a qualified electrical inspector to ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code and any local amendments. The inspection must be performed before the electrical system is energized. The electrical inspector will verify that the installation meets all applicable requirements and is safe for operation. Sixthly, documentation. It is essential to maintain accurate documentation of the electrical installation, including wiring diagrams, panel schedules, and equipment specifications. This documentation can be helpful for troubleshooting and maintenance purposes. The documentation should be kept in a safe and accessible location. Seventhly, professional installation. The installation of electrical equipment, including service entrance conductors, should be performed by a qualified and licensed electrical contractor. A qualified electrical contractor has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform the work safely and in accordance with the National Electrical Code. Using a qualified electrical contractor can help to ensure that the electrical installation is done correctly and safely. In summary, National Electrical Code Section 230.2 FE allows for unfused service entrance conductors to extend up to 15 feet inside a building under specific conditions. These conditions include installing the conductors in a raceway, providing a readily accessible service disconnecting means, and meeting all other applicable code requirements. It is essential to consult the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and any local amendments to ensure compliance with all applicable requirements. Proper installation and maintenance of electrical equipment are crucial for electrical safety. Always consult with a qualified and licensed electrical contractor for any electrical work.